We are on it right now, everybody. That is an altcoin market cap chart, inches away from breaking all-time high. This is the news, the headline news. Fed Chair Jerome Powell suggests current conditions may warrant interest rate cuts. So this is playing heavily into Ethereum's move right now that you see here on the weekly chart. I want to dive into it because Ethereum is getting ready to approach all-time highs. And I also want to look at ADA price action. On all of these charts, as we kind of jump into this, there's a lot to be mindful of and careful of. So I'm waiting for certain confirmation areas on the ADA chart, on the Ethereum chart. This is partly what I want to go over in today's video. I'm on the road, obviously, right now. This video could not wait. I've got wifey driving, so all is good. And I just want to jump into the video. So if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe, turn notifications on. And if you're not in our intelligence system, you're going to want to get our risk models. You're going to want to get our exit planners. We have a free trial going on right now. So click the link below, try us out. For any members that are out there, this is a glimpse real quick of our dashboard where you're going to be able to add and customize your widgets. You can add a risk widget. Like if we just want to go in here and add, sweet SUI, we can just add that and we'll be able to move these around. So you're going to be able to customize your dashboards now with all the tools that we have back here. This is coming probably within the week. So let's jump into the video. Here's what we have going on. Jerome Powell gave a speech today and he's signaling a shift in terms of interest rates. So September rate cut is a done deal. This is from Jesse over here on X, but I wanted to break it down more kind of eloquently. And then I want to dive into the actual charts, the price action of what is going on ETH and ADA specifically. So Powell removed effective lower bound language from framework. Situation suggests downside risk to employment rising. Shifting balance of risks may warrant adjusting policy. Tariff effects on consumer prices now clearly visible. There's, especially with the tariff stuff, there's always been this unknown that he's waiting for. Now he's saying it's clearly visible. And Marty over here saying bullish. And it really is bullish, everybody, because we're getting ready to go into this part of the business cycle that we've been talking a lot about on this YouTube channel. I did this post the other day. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but before this speech, I was saying I think Jerome Powell will hint that if data keeps softening, the Fed is ready to cut in September. That's at least a 25 basis point cut without naming it. This will be a big contrast to Jackson Hole 2022, when Powell's hawkishness reaffirmed and defined the bear market. So if we look at the total crypto market cap chart, excluding Bitcoin, this is altcoins. What I'm saying in that post is this. Jerome Powell, 2022, bear market territory, completely different tone and vibe in terms of his speech then compared to right now. And right now is as we are hovering right at the all-time high area for altcoins. This is a very similar time from a cycle perspective as kind of right here. So whether it plays out the same, that is not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is the upside for altcoins, for this crypto market, continues to be and remains to be 100% in play. So I want to kind of get a little bit of a roadmap, a little bit of direction, even on the shorter term by visiting the Ethereum charts and the ADA charts. So let's start with Ethereum. When it comes to Ethereum, again, I just kind of talked about this on the altcoin chart. We're kind of like back here. There's November 2020 area. If we go look at Ethereum's risk model, by the way, this is something I've been doing a lot of an analysis on. But if you go look at December, November 2020, risk in the 50s for Ethereum, we're at 59 right now in risk. It's a pre-bull market number now, and it was a pre-bull market number then, and it was even a pre-bull market number 2 cycles ago. If you've been watching my videos, you know this cycle has been a little bit different in terms of the Ethereum risk model, which is swing high to 60s, swing low for months. Swing high around 60, 58, swing low for months. We just hit another swing high at like 60, I think it was 63. Now we're consolidating. If we break back into the 60s and we kind of break this trend, this is a signal that it's just a thesis that I have, a theory. This could be a signal for the bull market for altcoins. But on the chart now, there's a couple of things I'm looking for from a technical analysis perspective. That is Ethereum breaking out of an RSI range and also all-time highs at the same time. So Ethereum is a moment away. This is a daily chart from breaking all-time highs back here all the way in 2021. But the other thing that's happening right now, if we go look at the RSI for Ethereum on this daily chart, first off, this is the range I want to see Ethereum break to the upside on and out of. And if we go look at the weekly chart, if we look at the RSI on the weekly, you can just see it's just now entering this overbought territory. I just wanted to show you, when we're looking at this, right? It's looking like, man, we're getting overbought. Well, if we go back again to like this November 2020 area we just looked at, it was starting to get overbought too, but this was the beginning of a massive move. So what I'm saying is on the RSI, on the momentum oscillator for something like Ethereum, be careful just looking at one indicator like the RSI, because it's like, oh, we're overbought, we're about to start falling. Not necessarily, especially as we're getting ready to potentially enter a very bullish cycle, business cycle, and Ethereum's risk score is at this area where it's been this pre-bull market area. So on the daily chart real quick, and then we'll go to ADA. If we're looking at this, want to see if Ethereum can make a move to this trend line. And that's kind of like this lower high area. And at the same time, if it can break out of that area and break towards all-time highs and out of all-time highs, we might have a very macro signal on our hands if that happens. So be careful of resistance right now. A little bit of hype. We're going into a weekend. We might get some choppiness. We might get rejection. We might start falling again. So be careful. On ADA, here's what I want to discuss in terms of ADA. I'll start with the warning, and that is this. We have this 20-day crossing below the 50, right? The last time we had this, we had a little pump into that area. The 20 was crossing below the 50, that blue line, little bit of a pump going on, and then boom, we needed one more swing low before the next actual move. This could be a fake out, right? So look at resistance even potentially happening right here in the lower 90s. I'm being careful with Cardano right now. It's a very nice looking 6-hour candle, but if we get rejected at this trend line, we start going down. And by the way, this is a 6-hour chart, but even still, you get a sense of a picture, a visualization, the momentum, the breakout that needs to occur still has not happened. So we could see another swing low, right? We could chop into the 70s before the actual move. So be careful for that. Now, if we pivot from the 6-hour on ADA, we can start talking a little bit more bullish and start kind of speculating on bullish. There's that trend line we just looked at on the 6-hour. If we remove that and we see how ADA had kind of consolidated to the 20-day, we have this trend line up here as kind of this target just above $1 that we're looking for ADA. This is the very first move of a bull move for ADA. So notice the area on the short term that we need to break. Swing high, this swing low. The range that I want to just give you that I'm watching for right now is 97 cents to around 94 cents. That's the resistance range, the confirmation range I'm waiting for ADA to see if we can break it. But be careful from here to that range for resistance. We might come back down. We start breaking that range up to 97 cents. I really think if we break above $1, if we break through that range and above $1, ADA might be at the very beginning of a massive bull move. So this is zoomed out on the daily chart, and you can just see we have a ton of upside to break towards all-time high that we've been discussing in our Cardano videos. So this would be the very beginning of a move. This is a smaller kind of inverse head and shoulders. And then we have a larger trend line that would be the next kind of trend line to target, which is closer to that $2 area. So a lot going on, a lot of areas to watch for. Bullish confirmation areas are in play, but I'm just saying, let's be careful. It's a nice pump off of bullish news, but we're going into a weekend. We see what the exchanges are doing, the market makers are doing. They might use this as a very nice opportunity to kind of liquidate longs that are entering the market right now. So be careful. These are my thoughts. This is my update. I appreciate you hanging in there with me as we're in the car driving, but I really wanted to get this out there. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Get access to our risk models, our on-chain metrics, our exit planners back here. And if you are a member, we're going to be hopefully releasing this soon. And this is just the beginning of the dashboard. It's going to get pretty sick back here. And I know many of you, I think, have been anticipating this, so it's coming. But appreciate all of you watching. I will see you in the next video. God bless.